Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And I now have an opinion from another advocate, independent advocate in South Africa, about that judgment that was ruled in favor of Liberty Fighters Network. And he says, I've studied the judgment and thought it would be very useful to your followers to know exactly what the implications are of it, and also when these changes come into effect. Here is my opinion. Judgment given the 2nd of June 2020. Judgment reappeal. Application 30th of June 2020. Those specific regulations declared invalid by the court are not appealable, and the decision that they are invalid comes into effect 10 working days from the 30th of June 2020. So, from the 15th of July onwards, okay, so this apparently is the date this all comes into effect, the 15th of July 2020. The offences. 1. The only offence during Level 3 lockdown, a fine or 6 months imprisonment, is now if someone convenes a prohibited gathering. That means someone who organises such a gathering or someone who attends such a gathering. That's Regulation 48(1)(a). All gatherings are prohibited except those at a church, a workplace, funeral, agricultural auction, or professional non-contact sport, but no spectators allowed. Regulation 37(1). Therefore, the police are only allowed to take action against such a person. The action that they must take is first to order the person at the gathering to disperse immediately, Regulation 37(2)(a), and only then take appropriate action against those who refuse to disperse, which may include their arrest and detention, subject to the Criminal Procedure Act of 1977. Point number 2. The only other offence is if someone hinders, interferes with, or obstructs an enforcement officer in the exercise of his powers and performance of his duties in terms of these regulations. Since their only power is to break up prohibited gatherings, then only someone interfering with them doing that is committing an offence. Regulation 48(1)(b). The final point she makes is that 3. All other offences named in Regulation 48(2) have been declared invalid by the court. And she goes on to say all businesses can now continue. This is by the court order. All economic exclusions listed in Regulation 46(1) Table 2 are invalid. So domestic air travel for leisure, passenger ships, tourist destinations, on-site consumption of food and beverages, including liquor, personal services like hairdressers, public transport, short-term accommodation for leisure, conferences and events, and education services are all allowed. She says, beaches and parks are no longer off limits, Regulation 39(2)(m) and (e). Regulation 35 concerning funerals is invalid. Regulation 34 concerning movement of children is invalid. Exercise is allowed at any time. Regulation 33(1)(e). Finally, the big one, the sale of tobacco. There is no change in the prohibition of selling tobacco, but it is not an offence, and so the police may not take action against the seller or buyer. And then she signs off as Susan. So this is great confirmation from an advocate who's looked very carefully through the document. I'll attach the actual ruling in the description below this video. See, if you haven't got it, you can go download it. It's PDF form. You can go right through it. But this advocate, Susan Spencer, has confirmed that this court ruling has had a huge impact on the lockdown put up by the ANC and the NCC. All right, guys. Thanks, Susan. This is a huge shout out to you. Thank you for sending me that information. Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, please stay safe.